Hello, love. Welcome back, family. These are your timely yet timeless messages for the highest and greatest good of the ELSH collective, Empaths, Lightworkers, Starseeds and Healers, awakened and awakening souls. Know that if this message has found you or if you have found it, there is something here for you. That is always the intention that we put into these messages. We have the energies of Ashe-Asha, as I have begun and continue to refer to her as this Lemurian high priestess energy coming through for this message. And I'm also getting the energy of the Venusians wanting to come in for this message as well. Really feeling the energies of Jesus Christ and Christ consciousness, Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary. I'm hearing Saint Joseph. That might be something very specific to some of you. If that's something that resonates with you, Joseph of Arimathea. Am I saying that correctly? That's what I'm hearing. Interesting. And I'm hearing with that father figure. Now, before I began recording here, I was guided to shuffle from the Tarot de Marseille, the Greek one that I have here, of course, okay? And the Empress and the Hierophant popped out with the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And immediately what I got with that was walking away from some kind of energy, whether it be a divine masculine, a divine feminine. And then I was being guided to get the love oracle cards out, the Island Time Wellness oracle cards out. So take this however it's going to resonate for you, because part of this, what I'm hearing, is specific to self-love, your relationship with self, and the reflections of that in the relationships that you have with others currently whenever you find this reading. And we're going to start with, interestingly enough, this card, which has come out recently in readings here on the channel and also personal readings. For some reason, this energy is wanting to be very top of mind, top of spirit, top of soul at the moment. This energy of by the book, the number 11, remembering that this 11 card is connected to the Justice card in tarot. 11s are also portal energies, and we are entering eclipse season at the timely end of this message. Now, this card, when it comes out upright, it's all about this idea of divine law and following that divine law and understanding that sometimes it's about structure, okay? It's about having some kind of structure. And this goes back to Ashe-Asha's message, which I will link up here again, when she first came through, about not getting carried away right now with the energies. Especially as empath starseeds, lightworkers, and healers by way of that. Because when you are a highly sensitive person, when you are more sensitive to the energies, this is something that recently, I've also been noticing this more with myself, where the lines have been blurred in terms of what's my energy and what's not my energy. And what she's showing me with that is when we begin to really expand in terms of our soul gifts and practices, sometimes there is that blurring again. Just when we are like kind of getting into that whole it's interesting how she's showing it to me. So it's like thresholds shift and change. We become much more capable of handling a lot more energy. And in the process of that, we're also becoming more sensitive and much more quickly aware, where we are picking up on other people's energies and they're not ours. And it's happening almost instantaneously. Okay, so where does this apply in your life? one of the things that she's also emphasizing right now is the importance of making sure that you're giving yourself the time and the space energetically, however that translates for you. Some of us need more than others, okay? Funny enough, lately I've been getting right back into Myers-Briggs typology. I've been getting right back into Carl Jung and the whole typology when it comes to personalities, type theory, cognitive personality theology, like all of that stuff, because this is about, again, apply it wherever it applies to you in terms of going back to basics with regard to your own self-understanding, your own self-analysis, okay? I had gotten into Myers-Briggs, the whole MBTI thing. Please leave a comment below if that's something you've ever looked into. I'm also getting, for some of you, this could even be human design or different types of, what's the one that, the gene keys, Richard Rudd, right? Like all of those things. These are systems of analysis when it comes to the journey of understanding ourselves more deeply and how we work here as souls having a human experience. This is really fascinating what she's bringing through right now. So one of the things, I had gotten into typology like years ago, and it was a huge aha moment for me because I understood that basically not everybody sees things the same way I do, and everybody has a different kind of cognition, right? Now, there's an overlap here with also feeling that you and identifying as being an empath, a lightworker, a starseed, a healer, okay? There's another layer to this, obviously, when we're talking about energetics, when we're talking about soul energy, blueprint energy, etc., etc. But these are all tools that we can put in our toolkit and going back to basics to have a deeper understanding, perhaps, of where we need to manage and transmute our energy much more effectively. And this goes back to all these messages that have been coming through recently around being how we conduct our energy. And when I say conduct, I'm talking about that in an electric kind of way, electrical way. Being a conductor of your own energy, right? And how we are employing elements of the feminine and the masculine, right? To continue to balance that out, harmonize that, transmute that, recharge our batteries, distribute energy, share energy, etc., etc. This is incredibly important, especially for healers right now as well. And I'm also hearing artists and anyone who's doing any kind of creative work. I'm also getting angelic energy coming through to assist in that as well. Our angels, the angels we work with energetically, whatever angels those are for you, the angelic, however you see that, archangels, right? And it's funny because I'm hearing the word hierarchy. Maybe for some of you that resonates. They are not a hierarchy in the power and control sense, obviously, but they're talking about it in terms of different degrees. So whether you're working with your own guardian angel, whether you're working with archangelic energy, whether you're working with seraphim energy, whether you're working with whatever it is, they're also assisting. It's really fascinating how they're assisting right now in terms of understanding our energy much more clearly, because they are masters at working with energy. And that's what I'm hearing right now. Okay, so going back to this by the book, they want me to read the relationship message from this specifically. Remember that as a collective reading, especially this one feels like it will feel like it is random or all over the place, but we're covering a very broad spectrum. She's showing me like rainbow energy right now. So we're covering a very broad spectrum of matters here is what she's saying, because she wants to also give some very specific examples of where perhaps this is happening in her life. Okay. So starting with a relationship message here, getting along with others entails understanding and respecting who they have become as a result of their environment, culture, and experience. Find the middle ground that allows the relationship to flourish while honoring the individuality of the other person. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Let me read that once again. Play things by the book instead of trying to break the rules or pressure others to conform to the way you want to do them. Meaning things, okay? Rules. Your connection will deepen as a result. This is speaking to me very personally right now. So I'm not surprised at all. She'd be like, you need to emphasize this message, please. Okay. This is we need to address this because sometimes this almost feels like the elephant in the room. I don't know why that analogy is coming in right now. That's what she's saying. So when we are, especially as Lightworkers and Starseeds, when we resonate with very specific ways of being, a lot of times we can feel very much at odds with others. And whether we realize we're doing it or not, oftentimes subconsciously we're trying to change someone else. Where does this resonate for you? This is a bit of a very stark truth, is how she's showing it to me, that we all need to look at. And what I'm getting with that is loosening up the reins of control a little bit. How are we also doing this with ourselves, where we are trying to conform to a way of being that just does not resonate with us at a soul level? And where do we find the middle ground, especially in relationships? Okay, so for example, I'm going to give a personal example here that ties into this. Recently, in a conversation with a very loved and honored family member, when this particular family member talks about certain things energetically, I can feel very much the anxiety that comes up when they talk about a specific thing. I can feel their own insecurities very potently when they talk about certain things that are going on in their life right now. And I'm automatically geared, especially when I hear sort of certain things that I hear not once or twice or 3 times or 4, but I'm hearing it over and over again. I will make suggestions. I will say, well, what if maybe you look at it this way? What if you see it from this person's perspective? Maybe what they need to do is this. Maybe what they need to do is that, and offer solutions is how I see it, right? Perhaps in my own way, how is it that I can contribute to what this person is saying to me right now in a way that is in alignment with my own beliefs? And find some kind of way to ease this anxiety or ease this, insecurity. And that's why Ashe-Asha is really amplifying this message specifically for people who feel that they are healers in some way. And it goes back to like artists as well, because there's a lot of overlap there. So I feel like a lot of this is also going to be geared to those of you who are watching us that are very connected to that, who are healers and artists and very expressive and very creative in what you do and heal through your art. There are many, many different forms of healing. I just want to reiterate that. She's asking me to make sure that I reiterate that. Healing is not just energy healing in the hands-on way or that type of thing. Energy could be through your writing. It could be 1414 on the counter as I say that. It could be through your perspective. It could be through the way that you offer solutions to people. It could just be your own energy. Some people just naturally have a healing energy about them. They make people feel safe. They make people feel seen. And that can be very, very healing. That's giving me a lot of goosebumps right now. I'm getting a lot of shivers. So that might be something that's resonating for a lot of you. Okay. Sometimes just being a very, very good listener for someone is healing. And if that is something that you do on an ongoing basis with people, right, then you are naturally a healer. Okay. And maybe this is another message for some of us that we need to hear right now if we don't really think of ourselves necessarily as healers, and yet you're doing it all the time. Like, it's just your energy. It's when, it's how you share yourself. That's what Ashe-Asha is saying. It's how you share yourself. I'm also getting the energy here, a lot of blue energy coming through the throat, speaking, bringing a voice to something, okay? Sharing, that's healing, right? So many ways. From cooking healthy meals for people to talk therapy. Like, these are all different ways that we heal, okay? So, and offer that to people and offer a space for people to do that, okay? So going back to this, conversation and this interaction that I'm having with this family member, anytime I'm offering, I've noticed a pattern, right? Anytime I'm offering some kind of suggestion, I get a response where excuses are being made, and I also get cut off a lot of the times when I'm speaking, where I'm getting jumped on. Oh, no, it's not that. Or no, it's not this. And the energy is so palpable in terms of how the feedback that I'm getting, that what I've noticed is happening is I'm getting the message from my higher self, from spirit, to just back off. Back off. Because what's happening is, in those instances, this particular person is perhaps not ready. And even that is a judgment. This is what Ashe-Asha is showing me. Even that is a judgment on my own part. Perhaps they're not ready to hear this yet. And there's nothing wrong with that, is what she's saying. She's actually showing me the energy of discernment here. And then I'm being shown the Justice card again with this number 11 by the book. So what's going on is, we have to be discerning about where we are sharing our energy, and let the other person energy that we are dealing with, just let them be. Offer what you have to offer. And the moment you begin to feel, because that translates as you standing in your truth and sharing what you feel from your heart you want to share. This is not coming from an dysfunctional egoic place of, well, you should do this and I have all the answers. It's nothing like that. This is more an energy of understanding and having a very keen awareness of where perhaps, this is really interesting, you might be feeling into this person's anxiety or energy, and you just want to come in to sort of placate that, right? Instead of understanding that's their energy and that's where they're at. If they're open to hearing what I have to say, great. If not, that's great too. Because you are offering whatever you're offering from a place that's true. You're in your heart. You're not judging them. Okay, you're not. And when I say judgment here, remember that judgment is on a spectrum. It's on the same spectrum as true discernment. Okay, so you're not judging them in the critical sense. You're judging it in the discerning way. Because what Ashe-Asha is showing me is that we really need to start, like right now, we need to start really discerning our energy and where we are directing it to those who are truly open to receiving it. Because I'm hearing ricochet. Because there's a ricochet that happens with that. In the sense that it's going in a direction where it is truly needed and wanted. Okay, and on that note, I'm just going to move into popping some more cards here from the deck. And I just want to, as we move into this next part of the reading, To be fair was at the bottom of the deck here when I had popped by the book. This is the number 38, the number 11 again. Okay, so we got an 1111 coming through here. It's funny because that immediately what comes to my mind's eye is the Four of Wands there. Okay, and being in this celebratory energy, being in this portal energy. And I'm seeing 1111 and the 11 of the new moon in Virgo, which is that solar eclipse, and then the lunar eclipse we're going to have in Pisces as two very specific portals upcoming. In the timely sense of this reading. But what I'm also seeing with that is that the energy of discernment is itself a portal into new understanding and consciousness for whenever you find this reading. Okay? And the energy of Lady Justice in that most exalted sense. Okay? And interesting that this card is called To Be Fair. And again, we've got the energy of the scales here, if you can see that. So this is an energy of balance. And earlier we saw 1414 on the counter. That's the Temperance card energy. So that's another nod to this angelic energy coming in to really assist us in understanding that and understanding balance. Okay. Also, for some reason, I'm also being shown the energy of eagles, of the phoenix, and I'm hearing Phoenix rising with that. So all of these here coming through as confirmations, also seeing a lot of emphasis here on the color red. In terms of lineage, in terms of bloodlines, this is another thing, the root chakra. Now I'm seeing cardinals, so cardinal birds. But maybe cardinals in another way, like take whatever resonates here. Okay, funny enough, we have the Hierophant, which you could understand, or you could kind of see as a cardinal energy. Okay, if you know the kind of cardinal I'm talking about. What I'm getting with this is that this goes back to the old structures that are shifting and the old ways specifically around how we conduct our energy shifting. And on that note, I'm going to share some of the crystal energy that I'm working with right now. We got a lot of divine feminine energy coming through here with this carnelian and this beautiful rainbow moonstone. Okay, so a lot of creativity coming through with these particular energies. I'm just going to kind of bring that into the space here. And funny enough, she feels like a little portal because she's got a little open there, this baby. So where might you, I'm also hearing the womb is a portal. The sacral is a portal. All chakras are portals. If there's any specific chakra work that you feel you need to focus on, now is the time to do it around this portal energy of these eclipses. It's really, really important. The moonstone is a crystal that's often associated with, funny enough, she's showing me the sacral, she's showing me the throat, but she's also showing me the third eye and the crown by way of that. This is a really interesting crystal to work with as well as we move into this energetic portal, as we move out of Leo into Virgo season. Okay. And for the timely yet timeless aspect of this message whenever it finds you and you find it. Okay. So I'm going to be popping now some cards from the Mystical Wisdom card deck and these Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards. For some reason, she wants me to work with that deck. Okay. And whenever she wants me to work with a specific deck, I'm working with a specific deck. I'm going to pop actually from the, that was fast. Okay. Soulmates and mirror coming through, and we've got karmic relationship at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that reference to the root chakra and the reference to this red energy, these are karmic relationships specific to family. These are karmic and this totally makes sense with the fact that I brought up a family member here as an example. Okay. And the degrees here vary tremendously is what she's showing me. I'm seeing like millennia of lineages of incarnation. She's also showing me the cellular memory of our bodies being really significant with this. And now she's showing me these portals opening up and clearing this energy, healing this energy. I am now getting the energy. Okay. Interesting. So there's a galactic energy here of the Lyran Andromedans coming through as well. That's all they want me to mention about that, because there might be a confirmation for you in that, whether it's Lyran or whether it's Andromedan. But also understanding, again, it's going back to this whole concept of the constellation of Lyra or Lyra being the cradle of consciousness, or the cradle of our galactic civilization. The cradle of civilization, how they cheekily will say that to me. Wasn't that something that had come through with her message? They were making a joke because, you know, Greece is often referred to as the cradle of Western civilization and all that jazz. They're funny. Okay, so what's really interesting here is we have karmic relationship, and then we've got soulmates, and then mirror. So this goes right back to the beginning part of this message that felt like it was very much about self-love. Okay? And self-love is a very interesting term that's being thrown around a lot lately and for the last little while. But the concept here of self-love is that, is really coming back to this mirror for these two to be coming out together. I'm hearing it's like you're your own soulmate. Understand that you're the relationships that you have are mirrors to the relationship that you have with yourself, and how you interact with those relationships are your closest route to healing and understanding and doing the shadow work for yourself. That's what she's saying. So in these interactions where you feel you're not being listened to, in these interactions where you feel you're being talked over, okay? I always laugh because in a lot of these like skitsy, you know, comedic skits or sketches when it comes to MBTI, you know, INFPs are the ones that never get heard. And I always laugh because this happens. Like, it depends on the moment, but it happens. But when I'm in a group where the majority of people are extroverts, and especially in my family, right, who type is that, I should say, because we all have the ability to sort of move into extroversion and introversion. It's all on a scale, right? But my goodness, and we all extrovert and introvert depending on the cognition that we have, according to Myers-Briggs type indicators, okay? So anyway, I laugh because like that literally in certain instances, that is exactly my experience. Like I'm talked over. Nobody listens, nobody hears me, you know, and depending on the conversation, it's like I either have to be really, really patient or sometimes I just need to get a little louder for people to listen, and then they listen. Or sometimes it's just like, you know what? I really don't need, I don't feel this right now. I don't feel like I actually need to say anything right now. I don't know, maybe for some of you, that's something that resonates for me to be speaking about that or bringing that through. But giving these as examples, it's how are you in those moments where you feel that way? How are you reacting, or what's coming up for you in the interaction in those relationships? And in those moments, how might you exercise more discernment in connection to self-love? So how might you nurture, is the word she's giving me. How might you nurture that situation conducive to your highest and greatest good and truth? Okay, and now I'm getting a lot of Leo energy coming in with that, like in terms of courage and the word courage and coeur and the energy of the heart. Okay, so, and it's so crazy because in both these cards we've got, like in the soulmates card and the karmic relationship card, we have got hearts, okay? And in the karmic relationship card, you see this heart surrounded by what looks like feathers to me. It's more angelic energy again coming through. The caption on these cards are like, you know, the words underneath here are fleeting triggers, fleeting. She's really emphasizing fleeting there. Okay? Turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. So now she's reminding me again of that pyramid of light energy and the violet light, that electric violet light, and that purifying kind of white light energy, where we are transmuting these energies, letting go because you love yourself too much to hold on to it anymore. And that might be something very specific for some of you. So essentially, for those of us that feel, oh, it's funny, she's even saying like the energy of soulmates is so varying, right? Because soulmates could mean so many different things. Soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract. That's what it says here on the card. You are in a way your own soulmate. You agree to certain experiences here. In incarnating here on Earth, you agreed to certain experiences, right? And a big part of it for this particular collective is self-love, is the experience of being in situations where you have to sometimes, it was crazy, where there's been big lessons around choosing yourself. And in choosing yourself, you align to the soulmates. In choosing yourself, you align to the soul family, and you do it with love. You do it with grace, compassion, and understanding, especially if you need to leave certain situations where it's a friendship or a relationship or a marriage or it's family, and you need to say goodbye with this Eight of Cups at the bottom of the tarot here at the deck. Oktokuba. So there's this sort of, we have to walk away. Sometimes we just have to walk away. And oftentimes it's from those karmic relationships. So this might be a confirmation from you, take it however it resonates, of something perhaps that happened recently, or a big lesson that you've had to experience in this life with regard to that. And where does that apply for you? Okay. I got the deck open and leadership was at the bottom of the deck. Set your goals. This is the Leo card right now. So pardon the push there. Check that out. Leadership. This always reminds me of the Queen of Wands. By the way, sunflowers have been a big synchronicity lately. And this is very much connected to the solar plexus and to the will. And again, I'm hearing courage, and they're pointing me to the heart pendant that this woman in this figure is holding, and she feels very much like she's also coming through a lot like Lady Liberty right now, because she's holding that torch. And I'm hearing be your own torch in the darkness, and the darkness here being the psyche. Okay, enlightenment. That's that rainbow energy coming through. The peacock is really sticking out for me there. So I'm also getting the energy of the Nine of Pentacles there, being self-sufficient. Self-love. This is the energy of being in the self-love. You know, like jokingly, people will refer to that card as the glow-up. The glow-up card. But what I'm getting with that, and what Ashe-Asha is bringing through, is that you've done the work. And now it's time to live it. It's time to share it. It's time to stand in that truth and that authenticity. These two cards coming together like this is exactly the message. Okay? It's like lead with enlightenment, lead with the light of your soul, lead with that, with that which you have experienced, lived through, let go of, loved. Okay? A lot of star energy coming through with that, a lot of healing energy coming through for that. And on that note, she just wants me to close out this reading. She wants me to pick this card. She keeps highlighting this card. Potential. That was another one that had come through. Okay, think big for your future. Think big for your future. Lots of rainbow energy in that. Angelic energy in that. Oh, there's another message here of you are an earth angel. Remember that, okay? Look at that. Creative wonderment. Follow your passion. Follow your passion. The piano, music, This woman is following her passion. And what I'm hearing with that, seeing her go up the stairs, is following your passion. Your creative wonderment is the path to ascension, the ascension of your soul. I'm hearing that, oh God, what's that song? Oh my God, it's a classic and I can't remember the title of it. Your love's taking me higher and higher. That love, that passion, the capacity to which you love is also your potential, is what I'm hearing with that. Oh my goodness. This card had come out as well. Legends. Okay. Learn from those who inspire you. Sometimes we are our own inspiration, is what I'm hearing with that. Like a beautiful piece of poetry that you write, something you write in your journal, you dabbling on the piano musically. I'm hearing taking yourself out for a walk and being inspired by the things that you feel, that you see when you're out on a walk. Also, for this Legends card to be coming out again, all the legends that we read that are called legends, okay? The fairy tales, the myths, these unlock aspects of our psyche. They unlock parts of our soul. So really dive into legends that inspire you. There's something in that in terms of, I'm hearing the path of self-knowing. Okay? Knowing yourself. Know thyself, right? Okay. This is ancient wisdom that can be unlocked. The work of, I've spoken about this before, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, okay? Even Joseph Campbell, like the hero's journey. Really dive into those things if they are pinging for you. Even the story of Jesus, okay? The energy of Jesus Christ, his story. The true story, all right? Even the stories of the angels, okay? Really, really, really like diving into those things can be incredibly unlocking for some of us right now. And moving forward, one of the things that I want to do is a sort of a very quick, call it announcement, call it whatever you want, okay? I'm hearing proclamation, okay? Declaration is that as we move into this portal energy, there's going to be more messages coming through, and we really need to tune into the messages. Don't get carried away. She's also showing me I'm probably going to be coming on here a little bit more frequently. And very quickly, there are things here that are shifting as well on this end of things, channel-wise. So keep tuned in for that too, intuitively and also physically, okay, to this channel. There's a lot. She's not saying anything more than that. So we're just going to leave it at that for now and take it from there. Also, one of the things that she's saying to me to ask you, as long as I'm okay with this, of course, right? She's saying that. I'm like, yep. Is if there are any specific requests moving forward, requests around certain energies or confirmations perhaps, or things that perhaps you would like elaborated on, okay? To leave that in the comment section below and to have courage to do that, okay? This is also something that I can post in the community page. Maybe there's something we can do with that there. Let's see how this will take form. It feels very like nebulous right now. And then we'll see how we'll take it from there, okay? Also, I am doing one-on-one readings. If you're interested in doing a one-on-one reading and a soul support reading with me, simply email me at the email address in the description box below. Thank you. Ashe-Asha. The energies of the Venusians, the angels coming through for this reading through spirit, I thank you for being here, for sharing all your beautiful comments, for having the courage to be who you are, for having the courage to even come here in the first place, okay? Because you're definitely here for a reason, and I'm sending you so much love wherever you are here on beautiful Mama Gaia, in love and liberation, always.